All right, guys, I am here with my little scrapbook store, and I am going to be working on the challenge for January. And the challenge is goals. So you are to do a page, either 8.5 by 11, it could be a traveler's notebook, it could be 12 by 12, and you are going to the theme of it is going to be your goals for 2021. So I decided to use the Pink Fresh Studio collection. And I do believe that this is the Daydreamer. And I do believe that Michelle still has this in the shop. So if you're looking for it, just take a look there. And I'm using this gray sheet as my background. The other side is the flowers, and I know, but there are two sheets of every paper, so I'm not gonna freak out about how do I want to do this. So my idea is to do like some strips, and I pre-cut a few things, and I kind of worked on this, but then I decided I didn't know what I was doing. I was just kind of not knowing what I was doing. So my idea is to kind of do something along this line where I'm kind of using strips from the collection, and then I'm anchoring a frame on one side, and then in each of the frame are one of my goals. And I have lots of goals. I mean, my life is full of goals because I'd love to be doing better at everything that I do. But I picked out 3 things that are important to me that I want to focus on for 2021. And so this is what I think I'm going to be doing. Something along these lines. And then this is going to hold my title, I believe. And I don't know if I'm going to back it with something or if I'm going to just like cut that off and just, I'm not sure how I'm going to do my title. And then I figured I would use some of these labels somehow to like write what my goal is and just kind of do it like that. So I'm not really knowing what I'm going to do on this, so I'm not going to talk through it any further. I'm going to go ahead and continue with the voiceover, but all of the links to Michelle's store and her Facebook group where you will find the challenge are below. And keep an eye out because there will be, all of the designers will be posting ideas of their layouts in the group under the challenge discussion board or whatever, and so you can get some ideas. And many of them do have YouTube channels and may likely be filming their processes as well. So let's get going. Okay, so I wanted to make a correction. This is not a Pink Fresh Studio collection. It is a Cocoa Vanilla collection called Daydream. So now moving on, what I'm going to do here is start building clusters besides each one of these frames. So the first frame, I have a picture of my bike. And my first goal is to start doing things that are going to have a positive effect on my health. Now, that would include, and I thought about putting a picture of a scale on there or something, but that's not really my goal. I mean, it would be great if I do lose weight amongst all of that, but my goal is my health. So I decided to choose a picture of my bike and put that as one of my goals. And then I do a picture of a calendar in that circle frame, and that is just my goal to stay more organized. And that means basically organized on my layout schedule, my YouTube schedule, organized in getting birthday cards out on time, that sort of thing. And so that's what the calendar is. And then the bottom one is a picture of my Bible and my other, and these are not in a particular order. It's just how they fit in the frames and where the frames looked best based on their color on the layout. But the final one is my Bible, and that is just, making sure that that is in my everyday life. So now I'm building my clusters. And the only thing I'm doing with my clusters is I'm going through the stickers and the ephemera, and I'm just wanting to balance color. So basically the main colors are pink, blue, green, and yellow. And I'm wanting to make sure that I have balanced color in each of these clusters. And it's pretty easy to do because there is a lot in here to choose from as far as florals and hearts and different types of embellishments that have a variety of colors. So I want to keep each embellishment cluster about the same size as well, because I really want this to be equally balanced all the way around. So once I got everything on the page, I was like, I just think the gray seems too flat, it's kind of boring, and I start moving everything over onto this background, which is one of my favorite papers in the collection. So I'm going to move everything over and look at it for a while, and I really do love it looking at it right now on, playing it back. I definitely like it much better than the gray. But I think what I was worried about is there's now a lot going on. There's a lot of color going on in the background, and there's a lot of just embellishments going on, so I switch it again. This paper is from my stash, and I do not remember the collection. It might be from Snow and Cocoa, possibly. But I move everything over here, and this is where I end up keeping my layout. Now, you can see that pinky peach paper in the background, and I will end up backing this with another paper. So I am going to cut off, I believe I cut off 1/4 of an inch on each side. I look at it now and I'm not sure if I like the wood grain or if I like that colored paper better. I would love to know in the comments, you guys, what paper background you liked best. The gray one, the like mixed media type one, or the wood grain one. I'm just curious because it's funny when you do a layout, and if you're voicing over your layouts and you're watching it all from a different perspective, sometimes I find myself wishing I would have done things a different way. Doesn't say that I don't like what I did, but I'm like, maybe I should have left that there, or maybe I should have, I don't know. It's just strange when you start, if you're one that does videos and you watch your process over, you'll know what I mean. But so I just like to know what your thoughts are, just for fun. Leave a comment below and let me know which background you liked best on this one. So I'm getting out my weathered wood distress oxide. I love this color of gray for inking my edges. And I decided now, since everything's really light laying on this wood grain, and there's not a huge contrast, so I'm going to go ahead and ink up everything. I'm going to ink up all the florals, the frames, anything that is the banners, that's all going to get inked up and put back on the layout. And I really am glad that I did all of that inking. Now, using the gray background, that would not have been necessary because obviously I would want the contrast to be against the white, so I wouldn't have necessarily done the inking on the gray. I would have definitely done inking with the watercolored background as well, because I would have wanted a little bit more contrast and something to help all of those papers and layers like pop off of that busier background. So I'm going to start building this bottom cluster. Now, most of these are already built, but I knew what I was going to be doing. I just kind of have to lay them back down again, which is kind of a pain, and that's why sometimes it takes my layouts so long for me to put together, but the process is still fun, and so that's why we keep doing it, right? So I'm going to rebuild everything here, and I think I didn't make you watch all of that inking. So I'm going to start building up my clusters. And as you can see, I'm putting down labels next to each one. At the top, I have that navy blue label, and that's just because I needed blue. Like, I just liked the contrast there. In the next one down, I use a label that has yellow. The middle cluster where the title was, I don't need a label because that's just holding my title. And then the bottom one, I used like a multicolored label. And those were all either in the ephemera or part of the cut apart sheet. And I just absolutely love it. I also wanted to make sure I had a rainbow in each cluster, because that would be another thing that would carry your eye through the page. As you know, like your eye gravitates towards like items. So when you have florals on the page, your eye is going to gravitate to other florals on the page. Or if your eye sees yellow, it's going to gravitate towards something else yellow. Same thing with the rainbow. So my eye sees the rainbow at the top, and then it follows to the next rainbow, and on and on. So I really like that repetitive process of including all of those important things, whether it be a shape or a color or like a metal or something like that, in each of the important spots on your layout. I am going to include flare in 3 of the clusters. One at the top has a little heart. The next one has a rainbow. And then going down, you're going to see me put one that says Choose Joy, which is going to be by the title. These flare do come with like a puffy, not puffy, oh my goodness, dimensional, foam dimensional on the back. I don't like that much dimension, so I took off the foam dimensionals and I just added glue dots to the back just because those flare already have some dimension. I did not need more dimension on there. So here I am building up that 3rd cluster, and this is where I'm going to bring in the flare that says Choose Joy. Oh, I think I must have missed one of the florals getting inked, so I'm adding those in. And just trying to put a little bit of greenery too when I can, when it fits in. Now my title, I'm going to end up doing that last, and that's going to come from some puffy sticker or some foam stickers that I have in my stash. These that I'm putting on here are labels from a Pink Fresh Studio collection, and I apologize because I'm not sure which collection, but what I'm laying down there says my brain has too many tabs open, and I thought that that was really appropriate with the calendar picture, because that's like, sometimes that's why I have a hard time staying organized, is because I have so many things going on, whether it be, my kids, what my kids are doing, stuff in my job, scrapbooking stuff, just anything. It's just always there. So that was a fun thing to find. And then at the top, I put intentional living and good things ahead. Right here, I'm sticking down see possibility everywhere, think different, and discover yourself is what's going to be by the title. And then down by the picture with the Bible, I'm going to put reading list. And I loved the colors, worked out perfectly for this, combining those 2 collections. And then I just love how those stickers had words that perfectly correlated with my goals. And I really love that because honestly, with the title, with those stickers, I almost don't need to do journaling, although I am going to do journaling. I never do journaling on camera. It's just too hard for me, so I will do that later on. I just have to have like quiet and my mind nowhere else because I start repeating words when I'm writing. It's a mess. You'll notice just a bit ago I added something to that second cluster, and there was a weird gap there between the two labels, and I filled that in with another flower. So I'm going ahead and I'm inking up the edges just to have this all be cohesive with all of the inking, and I love how it looks. That paper I'm going to use as my background is like a corally color, and it has light pink hearts on it. So it works out perfectly. And I did gut that, as you can see, so I'll be able to use those pieces on another layout as well. So this is it for my layout, guys. I am so happy that you stopped by. Check out the Facebook group to see more inspiration for this month's challenge for my little scrapbook store. And check out her new shop. It is absolutely amazing. She's adding more and more and more things every day. And I think you're going to really love the new sales that she's doing and the new shop. Oh, duh, I didn't have my title. I was thinking I was all done. But yeah, before I go on with the title, definitely check out the links below. If you've never shopped with my little scrapbook bookstore before, they are a small shop, family-owned shop, and they are just the sweetest family, and I would love for you to go over and support them. So these thickers are some thickers that Michelle from the shop, the owner of the shop, had sent to me just as like an add-on to my order. And I love them. They have so many really amazing phrases. And I tried one word and I don't remember what it was, but it just didn't fit. But this word fit perfectly, and it says limitless. So my title is going to be I Am Limitless. And basically, you know, what I saw in that title is if I put my mind to it, I can do it. And that is kind of going to be my attitude towards all of my goals for 2021. So within that thicker sheet, there was some little floral pieces and hearts. And I thought, well, I have this gold in my title now. I need to add accents to my clusters with the gold just to make it all flow. And it was perfect. There's these little floral pieces that I ended up putting in the center of the florals, and then had a little center in there. And I love how that worked out. I love it when thickers have those little extra pieces that you can use for like scattering on your layouts and, you know, spreading that metallic or whatever color it may be around your layout. The only thing that this title is missing right now is a rainbow, because I did say I had rainbows in every cluster, and this is the one area I did not yet have a rainbow for. So I'm looking through some of the ephemera, and I do find one that works out perfectly, and that is what I'm going to use. It's going to go in to fill that space there next to the I am. And once I get that piece down, my layout is going to be complete. That one there, I liked it, but it was a little bit too big, and it was the exact same rainbow, but bigger as the one below it. So I didn't want to repeat that one. So I keep going back and forth, and in the end, that's what I end up with. I hope you enjoyed this process, and I would love for you to give a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Have a great night, y'all, and come back for more. Bye.